Okay, so we're looking at subtraction of fractions with different denominators, and this is off the refresher page 64. Now, before we dive into the problems, I want to show you something to kind of give you a visual on fractions with different denominators that are equal to each other. Now here, I did a circle and cut it in half, and I colored one side, and 1/2, 1 part of 2. Here, I cut this circle into 4 pieces, and I shaded 2 of them 2/4. And I think if you look, you would agree that, oh, those are equal. Okay, and they are. Here, I've cut it into 6 pieces, and I shaded 3, and again, that's equal to 1/2. So 1/2 and 2/4 and 3/6, they're all equal to each other. Now, you can do this by drawing it out and to figure out whether or not fractions are equal, but that's a lot of work. It took me like 5 minutes to do this little doodle before I did the video. There is an easier way, and what you can do is you can look at 2 fractions. Here we have the 1/2 and the 2/4, and I'm looking at the difference between 2 and 4, and I think to myself, well, if you multiply that times 2, that equals 4. And if I do the same here, it comes out to 2/4. This is how you can make 1/2 into 2/4. You just double both the top and the bottom. Here, I think you can see what happened. This got tripled, and that is equal to 6. And that got tripled, and that's equal to 3. And it's totally okay to do that as long as you do it to the same to the top and bottom. Your fractions, even though they're different, will be equal in size, okay? And that's good. Now, on 64, they've done something kind of interesting for you. They showed you first a problem just like we did over here, and they have 1/2 is equal to 5/10. I'm sorry, let's go back to the original problem. They have 1/2 minus 3/10, which you can't do. You're not allowed to subtract fractions unless the denominator is the same. So what they did is they made it the same. Here, they just let it be. They just brought the 3/10 over times 1, basically times 1. But here, they changed that 2 to a 10. They changed the denominator to a 10 by multiplying it by 5. All good. All you have to do is just make sure if you do it to the bottom, you do it to the top. And so that gives me 5/10. 1/2 is equal to 5/10. And now, it's totally okay to subtract. 5/10 minus 3/10 is 2/10. Now, what they did on the rest of the problems is they actually gave you the denominator that you need. And you have to figure out, okay, what move was made to get that to happen. So here, this is just going to carry across. This is 1/6 is equal to 1/6. But here, they converted the 3 to a 6. So how did that happen? What do you multiply by? Well, knowing your times tables is really handy. Because if you know your times tables, you know 3 times 2 is 6. And then you just do the same to the top. And so 1 times 2 is 2. Now I have 2/6 minus 1/6. Final answer, 1/6. 2 take away 1. 1, you're at 1/6. Here, okay, so this is just going to stay the same. We're going to leave that be. We're going to convert that 8 to a 16. And to do that, again, knowing your times tables, times 2. We do the same to the top, and that's going to give us 10. So 10 minus 5, 5. Final answer, 10/16 minus 5/16, that's 5/16. Now here, this last one is interesting. They converted both of them. And what you can do if you can't, I can't really make the 4 into 5 because 2 times 4 is 8. So that's not going to work. What you can do is you can multiply them. If you get stuck, you can multiply them by each other. And what I mean by that, let me change my color here, we'll go blue. Multiply the 4 by 5 and multiply the 5 by 4. See what I did there? I multiplied them by each other. And when you do that, look what happens. They both go to 20. And now all I have to do is if I did it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top. And now you're good to go. If we're subtracting 520 minus 420 is 120. So your task on page 64, and I think this will really help you get used to working with denominators that are different, converting them to the same so you can add or subtract. You have to finish off the problems like the last ones we did here. So, good luck, have fun. We'll see you on the next page.